Hey coach, what if I told you that your ideal client is waiting for you right now and they're looking for you all over the place and stumbling across some coaches way less qualified and missing out on the results only you can help them achieve? Hey, I'm Alma Curran, Creative Director of Ascension, a sparkling new hub that I have co-created with my genius husband, technologist, funnel extraordinaire, to help new coaches scale their coaching businesses to six figures, replace their old incomes, all of that without having to waste 5 years looking for someone to help them. How do I know that it takes about 5 years? Well, I was one of those coaches, and I am not going to let that happen to you. Listen, I had all the certifications, all the training, all the connections to coach anyone on anything, really. But here I was struggling and questioning myself. Hey, am I really good at this? Why am I not getting clients? Why is my calendar not booked? Do I even know how to use social media? Oh, look, she's doing that. Maybe I can copy her. Oh, that's not working for me. Oh, well, wait a minute. Maybe coaching is not a real thing. Yeah, maybe I just wasted a ton of money on something that doesn't really work. And you and I both know coaching certifications and all these programs, they're not cheap. You're dishing out thousands of dollars to walk around and show some certificates that you really can't do much with because people are questioning you and you begin to question yourself. If that sounds familiar, welcome home, beautiful soul. You are no longer alone. And the very first step that we're going to go into, something that I go into with my clients who are actually now paying me $10,000 a pop to guide them through, and you get it for free. So you better subscribe right now for all of these nuggets that you are about to get free of charge, but it's going to cost you your time. And I know you got that. So listen, the very first thing you have to do is know your ideal client. Know your ideal client. And I'm sure you have heard it a million times before. You have heard the power of niche or niche, whatever you want, dot, whatever you want to call it. Really, everything you have heard is true. And here's something that isn't true, that you have to help everyone with everything. Sure, you're qualified for it. Sure, you know the mindset game. Sure, you know that if somebody was struggling with finances and you're really a health coach, you could help them with that. But they don't know that. Your clients or your potential clients don't know that. And that's why we really have to niche it. So right now we're going to dive into the whole niching or identifying your ideal client process. And if you're driving, listen up. I'm going to ask you some questions and I really want you to co-participate in this so that you can actually integrate it. Deal? All right. So there are 5 steps to identifying your ideal client. And we're going to dive into them right now. And again, just participate in this as if you and I are having a one-on-one. All right, does that make sense? If you're not driving, so please be safe. But if you're not driving, go ahead and make a comment right now. Share something. Help me out with this algorithm because I want to spread this message, put it out there to make sure that other coaches know what's happening, what we really need to do. Because we look at people like Tony Robbins or Mel Robbins or, I don't know, so, some people out there and they're helping people with all kinds of things. And we're told and taught to model other successful people. So we think, hey, well, if I'm doing the same thing that Tony Robbins is doing, why am I not getting the same results? Because Tony Robbins doesn't have to niche anymore. He did at some point. Today, he doesn't. Today, he, after 40 plus years of having helped millions of people, he has credibility. You and I don't yet, right? So we have to niche. We have to keep niching. We have to niche until we get to a certain point of popularity where niching is no longer necessary. And if you continue to pay attention to this, you are going to see how all of that unfolds. But for now, I need your thumbs up. I need your like. I need your commitment to niching, and be open to it. Question it later, but for now, while we're doing this, just be open to it. Okay, cool, got it? All right. The very, very first step that's self-explanatory, you have to know who you're helping, okay? And this one is a big deal for all of us because it's frequently overlooked. So when we think about, hey, of course I know who I'm helping. Of course I know, right? I know I'm helping moms, or I know I'm helping people struggling with their finances. Yes, but we need to niche it even more. And I'll tell you why. There's a huge difference between you helping moms lose 20 pounds versus helping moms of newborns or helping moms of toddlers, right? I'm going to explain that in a moment. If you think about, let's say, helping, just for the sake of simplicity, helping moms help heal their children's GERD issues. Okay, if you do, because I don't want to pick on weight loss because that's so overplayed, but if you think about a mom helping their child with GERD, I know that your program, assuming that you're that coach, I know that your program could probably help all of them, right? But you need to be specific. If you say, I'm helping moms of teenagers help their kids heal their GERD challenge, whatever that is going to be very different once you start thinking about spreading awareness. Once you start creating blogs and posting on social media. And here's why. When you say, hey, I'm about to sit down, I'm going to schedule a bunch of social media posts. If you were to say something like, try telling a teenager to watch their diet, right? If you're helping all kinds of moms, the mom that doesn't have a teenager, she's like, I don't really relate to this. And enough of those kinds of posts, she's eventually going to unfollow or unsubscribe, which is going to make you think, hey, what am I doing wrong? Is this a good enough topic? Do people even have this problem? Am I even good at this? Oh, it must be my language. My vocabulary isn't well polished. Right? You're going to start questioning yourself. So when you focus on helping moms with teenage boys, then those women are not going to unsubscribe. As soon as you say, try telling a teenager to watch their diet, every single mom of a teenage boy is going to say, yeah, should have been part of my kitchen this morning, right? They're going to believe you. They're going to trust you. They're going to want more from you. See how that whole who is so important. So right now, if you are helping insert whatever that is, moms, men, women, teenagers, niche it down even more, right? If I'm going to go back to that weight loss. If you're helping moms lose 30 pounds, you got to know which moms you're helping, because postpartum moms have a way bigger challenges than, let's say, moms of teenage boys. Because if you say all moms, then you start talking about calories, the postpartum mom is going to say, oh, no, I can't cut my calories because I'm nursing. My baby can't go without all these extra calories. They're going to start questioning you, right? And you're going to lose credibility. So knowing exactly who you're helping is a must. In some cases, age is irrelevant, or, let's say if you're helping people get control over their financial situation, you have to know who is it. Is it single dads? Is it working dads? Is it new retirees? Who is this, right? Because we need to speak their language. Once we start raising and spreading awareness of what you do for people, because if you don't filter up front, once they sign up for your program, if some of them do fall through and they sign up for your program, it's gonna be hell. You're gonna be able to talk about certain things, and they're just gonna be on the other line of the video thinking, yeah, I don't think so, I don't relate to that, nope, not my problem. You're gonna run out of stories, you're gonna run out of examples to share with them, and they're going to question you. Or if you have some sort of a membership site or something where you have a large group of people, they better be one person, right? They better be the same person, because if you have, again, if you're trying to help people lose weight and you have people without children, and then people with newborns, and then people with teenagers, and people empty nesters, and people who've never had children, it's going to be a mess, because the people that you really want to help, for example, postpartum moms, those people are not going to feel comfortable posting in that group, because they're going to think that they don't have their group support, and they're going to alienate themselves. And second, they're not going to feel free. They're not going to feel free to express their problems, because they're not going to know how many people in that group can relate to them. Make sense? Yeah, go ahead and share that if that makes sense with you, because based on your answers, I also want to serve you even more, because I want to make sure that I'm getting the right content out there. And if you have some questions, I want to create videos to answer those questions. But it is so important to know who this is, right? So now, I think we got that. So now we need to know what you do for them, right? Okay, I'm helping moms. I'm helping postpartum moms, for example. We're going to use that. So with what? What problem are you solving for them, right? What is it that you're doing for these postpartum moms? Are you helping them lose weight? Are you helping them kind of fit back into their little black dress? What are you helping them? What problem are you solving? Or what solution are you providing? And losing weight, for example, is not a big enough problem. The problem has to be worth the investment. For example, if I was to say I help new coaches scale to 6 figures in 6 months, and the program is $10,000, and that is my guarantee, that is my promise to you, you are going to say, okay, $100,000 is 6 figures, $10,000 investment, that's a 10x value. Okay, I'll happily do that. It makes sense to me, right? And then I can scale from there. Then you can say that, right? So instead of saying I help new coaches make more money, that doesn't, like, how much more? $20 more, $15,000 more? Is more enough for me to quit my day job? So it creates questions. But when I say help new coaches scale to 6 figures, you're thinking $100,000, right? And to you, you can make sense of it, right? So the problem or the solution has to be worth the investment, because nobody will pay you thousands of dollars for a 5-pound loss, right? And people will create stories, myself included, and create reasons to say no, because the mind always wants to say no. The mind's job is not to make you happy. The mind's job is to keep you safe. So safe from investing, safe from getting poor, right? So the mind is doing what the mind is designed to do. So if you are specific then the mind doesn't have a way to get out of line, right? So helping postpartum moms lose 30 pounds in 90 days, for example. I don't know if that's realistic, but there it is. So we know who you're helping. Postpartum moms lose 30 pounds. Okay, 30 pounds is possibly worth $5,000 or whatever that is. It depends, right? It depends who your ideal client is. So now you know what you're solving, you know what solution you're bringing, whatever that is. And then once you know what you're doing, what problem you're solving, or what solution you are giving to this person, now they need to know how you do it, right? So they need to know how they're gonna go about this. And this is the one thing I've worked with so many coaches. I've worked as a Tony Robbins Platinum coach. I've worked as Tony Robbins Business Results Trainer. I've worked with Health Coach Institute, training and coaching their students. And I've seen it, and obviously I've worked with my own clients, but all these years, I've seen so many coaches say that the how is in my 12-week coaching program. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Nobody wants coaching. Nobody wants coaching except for you and me, probably. We love coaching, but nobody wants coaching. Everybody wants results, right? Everybody wants to know what is this really going to do for me, right? And because again, the mind is questioning the whole time. So we need to know how you're doing this, right? So let's say if the how is sticking with our original ideal client, postpartum moms losing 30 pounds in 90 days. Again, I'm not condoning that. I don't even know if that's realistic or so please don't throw rocks at me on that, but do if you want to. But if that's something that we're doing, let's say the how is, let's say, cooking delicious, but teaching them how to cook delicious meals oil-free. Okay? So right here, oil-free, the mind is going to say, well, wait a minute, Alma, I'm a postpartum mom. My baby needs fat for her brain development, or fat free. Are you kidding me? That you can't really cook anything without oil, or oil free. Or they will say, well, oil, if I do oil free, nothing tastes really good. How can it be delicious, right? So here, when we know how you do it, when she knows how you do it, you can create social media posts or create blogs that will help with this, because they're going to address these. Think you can't cook oil free? Well, try this, right? And you post a beautiful picture of a delicious oil free meal. Yes, your baby needs fat for brain development. Instead of oil-free, we're using walnuts or pumpkin seeds or whatever has oil, right? So you're anticipating, right? Because when you know how you're doing it, and because on the front end, we eliminated everyone except for our postpartum mom, we know what this mom is going to question. We think with her head. Because once we start identifying our ideal client, we no longer think with our head, we think with their head. I think with your head. I know that every new coach has had troubles with niching down their coaching practice. So I don't have that problem anymore. So I can't think with my head, but I know that my ideal client does. Make sense? So we think with her head. We think we step into her model of the world, and we think, oh, this is the question she would ask. I remember that. when I was a brand new mom, when I was in that postpartum phase, when I was feeling yucky and greasy hair and all of it, and sleepless nights, and I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel stronger. I wanted to feel good in my body, right? So I get that. Or maybe if it's not you, maybe you can say, I remember my sister going through that, and then I created this beautiful oil-free delicious meal plan for her that helped her feel amazing, right? So you can get into their model of the world, and just by knowing the how, right? The how can never be my 12-week coaching program. She doesn't want coaching, right? She wants to know what you do for her and how you do it so that she can get on it. Because if I was to say, excuse me, this is chlorophyll water, in case you're wondering. See, I knew you would ask that. So if you have this person, this client, this ideal client, and she knows, let's say, that you're doing it with this oil-free method. If I had somebody, well, let me say it this way. If I was to say I am helping plant-based new coaches who are plant-based accelerate their business to six figures in 6 months, you'd be like, why plant-based, right? I mean, does that even fit in here? So certain things don't fit in, right? Certain things don't matter. Just because I am plant-based doesn't mean that I only want to help plant-based coaches. No, I want to help new coaches, right? So there's a line that you may draw. You may not. You may say, no, Alma, that's very important to me. I only want to work with plant-based people. That's it. Great. Do that, right? But make sure that it is relevant. If you are going to throw in your beliefs when you're on social media, and if you're going to throw rocks at somebody who isn't plant-based, for example, then make sure that you do include that into your ideal client formation, because that's going to be important. Because if I was to, let's say, my niche is new coaches, right? And plant-based is not included in that. And now all of a sudden I'm posting stuff on social media and saying, stop hurting animals. I'm gonna have possibly 50% of my subscribers unsubscribe or unfollow because they're like, I don't align with your personal beliefs. So make sure that your personal beliefs are relevant to the public that you're serving, and the other way around. If your personal beliefs are extremely important, if let's say you are you're a faith-based coach, and it's really important for you that you only work with faith-based coaches, or what, get in alignment there, right? If that is important to you, please niche it down even further, right? We could go to postpartum moms, helping postpartum moms lose 30 pounds through helping postpartum moms who are also of insert denomination, right? So that's fine. Or helping Christian postpartum moms, that's fine, but make sure you put that up front so that when you are posting content, think of your business in 6 months from now, when you are posting content out there that you're in alignment, that you're congruent with whom you're serving. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So now that we know how, this is the one thing that most people don't teach you. Why? Why? The fourth step is, why do you do this? Why is it? This is what creates that connection between you and your ideal client. When you know your why, when you're gonna show up on social media, you're no longer gonna make it about you. You're gonna make it about your ideal client. It's I remember this Christmas we went to my sister-in-law's house, and her little 3-year-old was. We brought our dog with us, and he was walking through a house and he was saying, "Where's Lucy? Where's Lucy? Lucy needs me. Lucy needs me." So it was funny that he was really concerned where Lucy was, right? He felt like Lucy needed him, and he would wake up from his nap and he would say, "Lucy needs me," right? So that was his main focus. And I thought that was so beautiful, because when I am not feeling great, or when I stumble in the middle of the video, I keep going because I believe that my ideal client needs me, right? So the why is so important. Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, is one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. And in fact, in my program, our whole community, we have a book club, and that's one of the books that we read. And so the why, it has to be there, because you will be able to really get on her page. It will be easy for you to step into her or his model of the world. So why is so important. Because if you, once again, I'm going to say, if you are coaching postpartum moms and you say, "Oh, I remember that greasy hair. I remember feeling weak and feeling like I was a little servant to this gorgeous but loud little being." And I remember what she's going through right now, right? Or I remember when my sister was going through all of that, and I remember helping with that. That was a game changer. I want to wake up, and I can't wait to show up and share this with Sharon, right? My ideal client, for example. So the why is so important, because it drives you. Your reasons are your driving force. And we're all driven by contribution in this community. I'm not saying all of us as humans, but coaches, we go through a lot of training. We give up on a lot of things so that we can serve and be of service. So we have to connect to our reasons, right? And then finally, where are they? Where are they? So if we think about our postpartum mom who wants to lose 30 pounds through oil-free cooking, and we want to help her do that because we've been there before and we get what it's like. We understand all the things. We understand the questions. We understand that she's worried about her baby's nutrition and fat and the taste, because her toddler may not like things that are bland. We all know that about toddlers, right? So she's got all of these questions that are running through her head. We got to know where she is. We got to know where she is. Is she on Pinterest? Is she on YouTube? Is she listening to podcasts while she's dropping everybody off, right? Is she at the market right now? Is she at Orange Theory? Where is she? Where can you go and say, ta-da, here is the solution? Where is this woman hanging out, right? So we have to know, because then when we have, again, in my program, when I talk about this, when we get to the social media, my clients know that they have to know what their platform is. I'm not going to say, "Okay, everybody, if you're on Facebook, do this. Close your ears if you're not on Facebook. And all of you, if you're on Pinterest, do this, but everybody else close your..." No, you have to know where your client is. It is so important. You cannot be omnipresent right now. Tony Robbins can, Mel Robbins can, Louis Hose can, all of the Oprah can, right? But you and I cannot be omnipresent. It is not, we're not there yet. We can start with Pinterest, if that's your jam, if that's your platform, not yours. If that's Sharon's platform, you got to be there, right? You have to know where she is. And then you got to post there, you got to serve there, right? Because now you know who she is, what you're solving for her, how you're solving it, right? If it's our plant-based Sharon, she's most likely going to be hanging out in plant-based communities in Facebook, right? That's where you got to be, right? So then she's probably not going to be hanging out in like organic farming, because I might include cows and all and eggs. So we got to know, hey, we have to know where she is so that we can go there. So here you have it. You gotta know who it is. You gotta niche. The deeper, the better. Keep going. And when you think that you've gone too far, that's the right place for you to be right now, right? Because even if it's population 50 and 3 of those signed up, you can pay your bills this month, okay? With your coaching program. And when you say, whew, I paid my bills this month with my coaching business, this thing works, right? And then it makes you want to do more, right? So you know who she is. Again, dig. Please keep digging. And then what you do for her, right? You got to know what you do for her. And then how you do it. Again, when you know how, I'm going to go back, what, right? We don't care about weight loss. We care about a specific thing that she's after, right? That specific thing. When I got pregnant, I went through IVF and I gained a lot of weight. So I gained about 70 pounds during that process. So I needed that. So if somebody was giving me a program, offering me a program to lose 20 pounds, I didn't want to lose 20 pounds. I wanted to get rid of my 70 pounds, right? So you got to know your Sharon. That's what we'll call her. You got to know her so that you know what you are going to help her with. Because I wouldn't pay $5,000 for 20 pounds loss, but I would definitely pay $5,000 for 70 pounds loss, because that's what I needed. I'm not saying everybody needs that, but that was my need, right? So then we got to know how, right? Because if somebody was offering me 70 pounds loss through keto, I wasn't going to invest in that, right? But there is somebody who would. So we got to know how, and then we got to know why. Why do you want to help me? Why do you want to help me, right? Why is it that you want to be the one, right? So why is it you want to be my Yoda or my Mr. Miyagi, my guide? And why? And then when you know why, when you're connected to your why, then you gotta find me. You gotta go where I'm hanging out, or your ideal client, right? So if this helps, please subscribe. Please share with other coaches. We need to make this world a better place. And coaches, we go into this business to do the work that the world needs from us. So share it with others. Share it with your peers. Use this to further your knowledge and to serve the people you were called to serve. See you in the next video.